right, there we go. Hey everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day of FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm the creator of fmtraining.tv, where you can learn all about the FileMaker platform and learn how to build better FileMaker applications for you, your customers, your organization. This broadcast is completely free to everyone and is being broadcast in high definition to Discord, YouTube, and to Twitch. This broadcast is being recorded, which is really great. Of course, we might clean up the recording a little bit, so if we make a malfunction during the live stream, then of course we reserve the right to clean that up on the recording later on. However, because it's a live broadcast, we encourage you to ask questions. In fact, some people get aggravated when there's this dialogue with you and we ask questions. We want questions. If you have a question, odds are other people have the question too. And so I want to thank everyone for logging in, Ken and TK and Dave One, Dave Learning, Ed, Elzo, Carol, Jake, Mike, all of you, welcome once again to another great broadcast. Now, as a reminder, if you want to check out the upcoming broadcast, go to fmtraining.tv, press the left tab for the live button. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. That's pretty awesome. Additionally, if you want to help support this channel, right? We always say this, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, bringing you the greatest and the most entertaining FileMaker training videos available. So the idea is that if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our on-demand video bundles. We have videos that cover the latest version of FileMaker. We have videos that cover the deploy course. In fact, we used to sell the courses individually. Anymore, it's just much simpler to sell a complete bundle for a low price. We do this on an annual basis. So if you buy one of the bundles, that really helps support the channel. It ensures that we can keep coming back every day, because this broadcast actually takes a lot of money to run. The people here don't work for free. Christian, let's talk about questions and answers. So what I want to do is ask for questions about things you're having a hard time doing with the FileMaker platform. Some things that you need to be able to do and manipulate. So the goal is for you to ask a question that Christian Schmitz can't answer. So we're looking for questions. If you guys have questions about things you've tried to do with the FileMaker platform that it doesn't seem to be able to do, you're stuck with it. In the past, we've had pretty deep conversations about manipulating PDFs. If you have to manipulate PDFs, you buy the MonkeyBread plugin, you buy the Dyna, whatever PDF library, which is an extra block of money that you buy, and then you have unlimited capabilities in terms of how you manipulate and change and edit PDFs. That's an example. That's just one example.
We did have a question from David Angel, which I'm going to pop up and ask. I know that you kind of partially answered it, Christian, but it should be interesting. David Angel wanted to know, is there an option in MBS for mouse over, and then specifically like a button action instead of a click for triggers?
Well, no. This is a difficult topic because if we install an event handler for mouse over on the window, it whenever you move the mouse a little bit, and you would have a lot of script triggers stacked up because your scripts wouldn't run fast enough. So what I could do is, if people want, I could build something where you would tell the plugin which area of the screen you are interested in, and then we could have a script triggered when you enter the area. But you could already put a web viewer there and React in JavaScript on this. So. Yeah,
so the problem here's the deal with, once again, from my perspective, and this is Richard's perspective, somewhat different than...
share the screen.
Yeah, you can go and share your screen if you want. But the problem is that you've got very different technologies. You've got Android running on live code. You've got WebDirect running on whatever browser, which is really kind of this lightweight web experience that Claris would like to replace with something better, right? And you've also got FileMaker Go, which is a completely, at the end of the day, it's Xcode, but it's really, really, really different than the Mac OS in a lot of ways. So trying to interact between the users, not even their keyboard so much, but their mouse, is really a tricky business, because remember, on more than half the device out there touch, there is no mouse over. Right? That doesn't exist, right? So you're talking about a FileMaker Pro, Mac or Windows only sort of solution, right? And so,
So
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just keep in mind with a finger, the device doesn't know that you're hovering over it. It only knows touch and no touch, right? Yes? So,
yeah,
all right.
that's a problem. The other thing is that any trigger which would fire at a high rate would cause problems.
Okay. I see a monkey. I don't see the bread. Are we sure it's Christian? Yes. Ruben's being cute.
Yeah.
No, it's that's the question.
I would want to show you something new, maybe as a big. Let's say you are happy to got a Mac, so you can use our syntax coloring. There we show the new trick for this new version.
Okay, just so you know, you're flipping really fast here, so I don't know anyone's following what you're doing besides me. So is that what you're in the
Yeah.
You're in the documentation? Is that where you're at?
I'm in the documentation. We have the syntax coloring feature, which you may know about, and that learn to colorize your formulas by a world card. So people got the idea, like that was Russell, you know him. So let's say we want to color every word back in our calculations to be red.
Okay.
So, or maybe you want to have, let's say, fix me. And you can, of course, use HTML colors, but we just use our colors by names.
Okay.
And now if you say you have a script, and you think you have, let's make a script, and you have a script step, and you have a calculation there, and you just say, we have here a calculation, 1 + 2. We are not sure if it's ready, so let's say we put some note here, fix me. So needs to be fixed, whatever. But we can define a color for comments, and we can define a color for a specific word in the formula. So we would highlight that wherever it is.
Is that what kind of Watson was doing some of this the other day? For those of you who watch Watson, he was doing this. He was using this command much more elaborately, but and also notice that the basic font size here, this is much larger than normal, right? So a lot of us know about this.
Yes. We should tell people. So if you install the MBS plugin with or without a license, you get all these features for free on a Mac. I'm sorry for the Windows people, but and here are a couple of checkboxes or syntax coloring, and there is a minimum font size in formulas. So when you open your calculation dialog, the plugin will look what is the font size for the calculation. Usually, I think it's 12, and we just change it. We also here for the script workspace change the font so you can pick any font you like. And I like this JetBrains font, and you can also change the size. And that's why I get here a bigger font size than most other people.
Yeah, for those of you who need glasses, this is a really nice feature. In fact, unfortunately, as simple as I am, it's my most favorite feature within here.
Yeah, we can also for presentations scale up the formulas, the script workspace here.
Yeah.
So that helps a couple of people.
And then equal puts it back to the default. The equal puts it back to the
default. I had to find a symbol for normal size. So so I can even make it smaller if you want to see more.
Brutterman says he's just turning this feature on for his old eyes. Turning it on now. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. I use it with the scripts quite a bit. The only downside is your numbers tend to go out of alignment a little bit on the script numbering.
Oh yeah. You know, the people at Claris who coded this never saw that anyone else may change the scaling of the rows. So they just draw the numbers here with a fixed scale.
Yeah.
But if you have enough lines and you scale up, so you you see here numbers disappearing if I scale up, because those rows, you only see the numbers for the active rows.
Yep.
So they take care about that, but they never thought about the size may change.
Yeah, I guarantee they never thought that MonkeyBread would do what it's done here. I guarantee that was a foreign thought. It's funny that after the fact they haven't gone back and fixed it, though. It's kind of funny. So I would assume they would do that, but there you go. All right.
Follow-up question.
Yep.
Can we map those comments / special color tags to a table to later review?
Can, of course, put all the color definitions in a table, like, Russell did and his syntax coloring tool. So let me see.
I mean, it seems to me that you would run this on a startup script, right? So for the day, because every time you restart FileMaker, it's going to forget, right? Right? Isn't it?
No. It's stored.
Where? It's stored
it's saved in the preferences
on that specific on that computer. Okay.
It's stored on this computer.
Yep.
And this is a little database I made, and there's also the FM syntax colorizer from Russell. And you probably saw that in the recording last week, where Russell has a couple of rules here. So those are all the script commands, and you can modify the rules so you get whatever colors you like. But maybe you just want to change the color set here. So you can pick whatever color set you like and get those colors. Some color sets are for specific things. Some are for dark mode, and like this one is here. Check your script inputs and output side effects. So this makes basically the whole script gray with a little bit blue, and you better see the red parts. So
Ellen the Lobster is here. Welcome, Ellen. If you have questions along the way today, we definitely want to take those questions and shoot them out to everyone, or shoot it out to Christian Schmitz.
So if you want to know what's new in the plugin, so there's a bigger feature I worked on in the last weeks. That's inside of FileMaker. So you may not know what a webhook is, but you maybe know what a web service is. So a web service provides some functionality, like there may be the web service for your phone system in your local network. There may be a web service for PayPal to taking payments. There's a web service for GitHub for your repository. You can send requests to the web service with curl commands, but web services offer a way to talk back to you. So they can notify you if something is happening. And you need a way to receive this request. And normally you may put up a web server, or you use the web server coming with FileMaker server, and put a little PHP script there, and have the PHP script then react on the incoming request. And I thought about we could do that in FileMaker within the plugin. So the plugin has a little web server which can take requests and send out an answer and trigger a script. So I have here a port number. I can press start, and now on my computer locally there is a little web server running here under this port. You're still hearing me?
You're loud and clear. We're still here. People are asking questions.
So I just put in the URL into Safari. Safari sent a request. Actually, it's sent two. So this is the first request from Safari. We got a script triggered. The script put all the details of the request into our database here.
So Ruben's asking, is this a Java web listener? Question mark.
Yeah, well, this is without Java. But yes, it's a listener. We listen on a port number for incoming requests, and then we can decide in a script what to do on this request. And I just happen to have here made 2 requests with Safari. So Safari made my request and then also made one to ask for the favorite icons so it can know which icon to show for localhost. So why would you do that? Well, you may have a phone system in your company. You may have desktop computers where you have FileMaker Pro running with your solution. You may have a phone next to this computer, and you can configure your phone system that if this phone number is dialed, that it can send you a webhook notification. So you would get information about the incoming call and could decide in your script to show up the record of the customer calling. This feature can listen on several ports, so you can have several webhooks listening on different ports for different usages. And if you would do a port scan on my machine, you would see that the port 999 is open. So
I have a question. Is that port normally reserved for anything, or is that kind of an open-ended port?
No. Port numbers between 1024 and 65,535 are open for free use, and one of those port numbers people can choose is 5003, but then they get in trouble with FileMaker.
Okay.
So you have to find a port number which is not in use on any of your computers. Show you can just run a request from here with curl from the terminal, let's say test, and put in some parameters. Maybe your phone system may tell you some phone number, and maybe the station ID is 123. And yeah, I have to put the number in quotes. So, and now we got this example here, and we have here the phone numbers, well, the parameters. Oh, I would like to have those parsed. Let me just change this example a little bit. I make here an URL components field, and then maybe it's time to go in the script. Let me just resize the field so you can see more. Oh, the layout is not big enough. So because we can parse the URL and give you these parameters. So we have a script. Here we have a script to set up all the stuff. So you call our webhook create function. You can configure the webhook with SSL if you need, so TLS 1.2. You can start the listening after you configured it and define which script to call. The script can be in any file, so you can have a file open in the background which does the webhook thing. And when you get a request, you can ask the plugin for all the data it got. Like I will here add the URL components. Components. I think we don't need that, and it will be UTF anyway. So let's make another request. And now I also put a parameter here. Let's say something is. So, but now I did. No, Safari did it for me. So Safari did for me the encoding of the umlauts. You see here, C3A4. And the URL components. What's going on here? This should be for our request. Oh, the one before. Yeah. So here is our request. And on the bottom, you see the plugin got the parameters and put them in a parameters JSON object here. And it decoded them so you get back the umlauts. That's I think that's a nice thing. Did we get a question for that?
We have had a question about scanning port numbers, which is kind of not the same, but somewhat vaguely similar. Can you use your plugin?
We have socket functions. You could write a little script which just connects to a server on the different ports and just do a port scan yourself in FileMaker. Or you scan your computer and you would see that the port here is open.
Okay.
So let's see, we got the plugin usually is set up to automatically answer the request with a fixed response. And we can just change this response. So where's my terminal window? So put in the easier. So when I call this, I now get here the created tag here. So instead of saying 200 OK, it now says created. The idea is that some software may need a specific answer, and you can get whatever answer you like. Like I can just change the text here and say. So the idea is the plugin can answer the request, can queue the script trigger, and whenever you have time, you can process the request. Because in FileMaker, if there's a script running exporting 1,000 records, your request has to wait.
I have a question on this. So is the plugin actually? You there, Christian? Hello, Christian.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
And I got the hello world result here now that I changed the automatically answer.
Okay. I'm trying to understand what's actually doing the listening. So is the plugin actually is the plugin actually listing on 9999 or
yes.
So back up. So then if I ping this port, I ping this, the plugin is actually going to respond back on its own.
Yes.
And so the plugin has to be running. Does this work on server or just pro, or what does it work on?
This can work on server. This can even work on mobile phone with iOS SDK.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So
yeah.
So this basically becomes its own server. Ellen the Lobster is here. She said she created a listener once, not nearly as fancy as this, but this is impressive. So then it can trigger a script, but we need to have the script wait until there's a pause on the FileMaker on the side.
Yeah, well, scripts can only run if there's no other script running.
Okay.
So that's why we have the auto answer. So we can just take the request, say it's okay, we got it, and we will take care about within seconds, usually.
I have a
question.
The
other option.
Oh, that's option. Yeah, I'm just generally wondering how reliable this is. Is this a new feature? Is this reliable? I mean, it seems like really cool, but is it, I mean, like if you let this run for a week, is you going to have any problems, or is it going to run just fine? What do you think?
Well, I hope it just runs fine. Well, this is brand new. I mean, this is just a week or two old.
Oh, brand new tool. So proceed with caution.
Yeah, and this is the first time I'm showing it to a wider audience.
Oh, so everyone here is special. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So those of you, we kind of missed the memo on that this is so it's a new feature, but this is a new feature, and it allows you to actually have FileMaker Listen. Historically, to have FileMaker Listen, you have to have FileMaker Server listen through DAPI or through the XML gateway or something. But this is another method to have FileMaker listening for inbound communications.
Yeah, we have those requests from users using our socket functions. They often use it to talk to a scale. So they put something on the scale and want to get the measured weight.
Yeah.
So the scale you can put something on the scale, maybe press a button there, and then it sends you the data, or like the phone system, or like a sensor, whatever. And this is kept very flexible. So this is not specific to us or one use case. It's very universal, so you can do whatever you like. So, and now let's go here in the The next script, where we set up the same thing, but we disable the auto answering, and we tell the plugin to keep the connection open. So if you have to decide based on the incoming data what to do, like making a little query to the database or checking the authorization with the headers, you can keep it open, and then you can decide what response to send based on the incoming data, and you can use our send function to send whatever answer you like.
So
this makes it very flexible.
Yeah, so then you're saying that it can wait and run a script and do something, then come back with a response based from the script.
Yeah. To make this work better, if your script is not responding quickly, we tell the socket that it should keep open. So even if you don't respond within a minute, it will wait.
How long does it wait before it loses its mind and just disconnects?
That depends on the other side in this case. Well, either you call the release method to close it, or the other side, the server will close it. And we have seen a lot of web services where they only wait maybe a minute till they give up, or they may decide to come back later. You'll see.
Yeah.
But here you can define your own response based on what's in the request. And currently we have a send function where you just pass in whatever text you like, but I could extend this if needed. This is all very new.
This is really cool. This is really, really, really cool. This is the kind of stuff that people would love to have in the product, but it's not in the product. I mean, in the FileMaker product generically. Nothing to do with you. You, of course, are always extending the capabilities of the FileMaker platform.
Yeah.
This is impressive. So I'm over here clapping. Very good.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
So, we have the data API, but the data API doesn't work for anonymous calls. So you can't just tell the phone system to call the data API, because it would have to log in and know about the data API. So for that reason, you usually put some other script like PHP between. But here now you can have on every FileMaker Pro in your company, you could have it listen for incoming phone calls. Yeah.
There's actually a lot of possibilities with this. There's a lot of possibilities with it. We have questions along the way from anyone here? Margaret, how are we doing? Ruben's clapping. People are clapping on server as well. Yes, Oregon Dean on server.
Okay, now let's go on the server.
Let's go on the server.
It gets a little bit complicated.
Oh, don't hurt me.
Because you have to set up it again. That's the same. But here below it, we have a little example loop. So the usual way I would install it is I would make a script which does this check loop. And I would schedule the script to run once a minute or run every minute. And then would the loop end after a minute. So the script would start, would check for incoming requests, and then exit, and then FileMaker would start it again. And this way you can have
so you're talking
always
about,
running script.
You're talking about SASE. SASE, is that what we're saying? Server-assisted or server-assisted script execution, right? That's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Scheduling a script
A
every
scheduled
minute?
script.
Yeah.
So you would ask the plugin, is there any incoming connection? And then you would run this perform script to process it. And because that's locked with the mutex, well, you can call it on several scripts, and it will just get whatever request got in. Yeah, and then you have time for your perform script to do whatever you like to answer the call. And so if you have a lot of requests coming in, you could actually run 2 or 3 of these looping scripts to take more requests and answer them quicker. But otherwise, you would just take them and process them, and your performance is limited by how quick you can process them.
Which means you have to script some efficient code on your script. Efficient design of your script.
Yeah, let's just say if your script, let's say, takes a second to decide what to do, you could take one call a second.
Yeah, I would probably, Oregon Dean, I would have a couple different, he's suggesting like 3 script schedules. You could have one go every 20 seconds, right? That kind of thing. So here's the important point so Christian, between a little bit of his English accent and whatnot, German accent with his English.
I'm so sorry.
You were fine. Let me just help a little bit here for people. Yeah. So if you're running the plugin on FileMaker Pro, the plugin can call a script. If you're running the plugin on FileMaker Server, the plugin cannot call a script on the server directly to run. So what we're doing is the workaround is to tell the server to fire scripts off every 20 seconds or whatever, or 1 a minute or whatever you want to do. And it goes to the plugin and says, hey, is there anything I need to do? And the plugin goes, no, nothing to do. And so that script then just shuts off. So it's a server assisted SASE, server assisted script execution. Similar to PSOS is that PSOS is triggered by a client, whereas SASE is just a scheduled event, but it's almost identical concept. One's scheduled, the other one is activated by a client, Pro Go Web Direct. So there's no way to activate a PSOS script from your plugin, right? I'm assuming that's the case.
Yeah. There's a long ongoing feature request to have perform script by plugin on a server. Currently, you can only work around it by using data API. So
right, once again, and so the thing is, Claris has I'm gonna reemphasize a couple subtle points here. Claris, through the data API, et cetera, has data API is basically their new tech to replace their XML and PHP gateways. The XML gateway is still in the product. It's supposed to be deprecated and removed. The data API is a new kind of modern endpoint, REST API endpoint. The problem is, in order to use it, you have to authenticate to the server. Well, if you have an anonymous user, like, for example, when I go to, this is very, very, very important right here. I'm going to just Christian, get a drink, take a breath for a second. If I go to fmtraining.tv, I'm just going to load this page, and I come down here and I hit live training right here. This data right here is basically, we had to authenticate or whatever we had to do. This is like an anonymous user getting data out of the FileMaker server. FileMaker server with the data API likes you to authenticate. So I think with this, we're using the XML gateway to do it anonymously, to anonymously grab 6 records of data. It's all it can do is grab 6 records. It can't edit records. It can't delete records. It can't do anything else. We have it locked down. It can read the current found set of records, which is these 6 records, bring that back. So the data API has kind of the same issue. If you want to just like have a phone system talk to it, the phone would have to authenticate. And the authentication is this whole username, password, then comes back a token, and this whole back and forth. It's a kind of a mess. So Christian is saying he has a future request to allow this to be simpler in the future. However, I can tell you right now, Claris is putting pretty much all their eggs into the FileMaker 20 basket, which is just re-engineering a new engine overhaul of the product, which we haven't seen yet. Theoretically, Robert Halsey later in November will do a webinar, or is supposed to be showing some of this stuff, I'm assuming, right? Because back in September, they didn't have anything to show. So in November, they probably built some stuff, and hopefully it is kind of functional, right? That would be the running thought. So Oregon Dean's got it. I'm going to be sticking with my standalone PHP DAPI on the microserver, fires in real time.
Fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think knowing that there's more than one option, and knowing that, and here's the thing with Christian Schmidt, if you need something done and you're paying for the product or you want to throw a little extra money his way, and you needed to do something a certain way, I'm willing to bet this guy is very flexible in him supporting your needs, right? If you have to find a bug, getting the bug fixed, having a feature you want added, right? We've done that with Jesse Barnum too. They're good at that. That's why I like certain plugin vendors, because if you want something done and it's doable and it makes sense or whatever, he can put it in there for you, right? A lot of these features came about because people wanted them, not because Christian thought it up. People came to him and said, hey, I need this, right? And he goes, oh, well, I can add that, right? So Net Lobster says you never sleep. That lobster, Ellen says you never sleep. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, I sleep, but I have my little coworker here. You saw it?
Your coworker, the monk, the. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's Christian. We see your face.
And you mean? He's working.
Yes. Yeah, the coworker. He's working, right? The monkey is always working. Yes. So, questions from anyone on this feature? This is a really good feature.
Yes, there is. So there is a question from Michelle Gravel. Does it work on Windows?
Yes.
Oh.
There you go. Yes, it works on Windows.
Wow, that's awesome.
To Gregory and Wayfaring Stranger, yes, we answer questions from here. Please ask them. We have kind of wildly unrelated questions, so when we're good with this, we can maybe ask those.
So here we have our documentation. Let's click on a function here. So if you see the documentation, you see there are a lot of check marks. Yes, yes, yes. Server, iOS. And the only thing that doesn't work on the server is the script trigger, but otherwise every other function works. And I think this is our lightweight solution because you can have a script setting up a webhook, then sending a request and wait for the callback to come in later. And then you can release the webhook and then, so you can just create one, have it do its work and then shut it down. Or you can leave it on all day.
Someone's having it. Sorry. We do have a question from Gregory. He wants to know if he's interested in MonkeyBread software for his company. Are there bundle discounts?
He should get a trial license on the website and then come back on Black Friday.
Black Friday is in 3 weeks? 2 weeks. How far is Thanksgiving out? Where's Black Friday?
It's 3 weeks away.
Okay, so
so we are running our usually Thanksgiving Black Friday sale for our US customers, so everyone can just use it and get 20% off whatever you like to buy.
Well, there you go, Gregory. So come back on Black Friday, but get a trial license for funsies.
Yeah, the trial license is a cool thing because it gives you a key for something like 6 weeks to play with the plugin, and it works on server, on client, on iOS. You can use one license key for everything and enjoy the plugin to try all the features. Okay.
All right. Hang on one second. Hang on. So everyone sees this. So November 26th is Black Friday. Okay. So there we go. There's apparently the day of the Super Monkey Sale. Monkey Spread Sale. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
we also have another feature there. We have a raw mode.
Okay. You have a what mode? A raw mode?
Yeah.
Is this
where you get whatever data is coming in.
Okay.
And we have a client who needs that for some medical devices.
Ah.
Because they send requests which are not HTML, not HTTP. So you get a callback. You tell the plugin it's not HTTP, so you get a callback, and then you can ask for the raw data, and also you can send whatever answer you like. And we have some clients with special devices which make a connection, send some data, and then you can store that and process it. Think about like a measuring device for whatever, heartbeat or
Absolutely. So, of course, Ellen posted a picture here, and normally these are jokes and stuff, but I want to point this out. This is actually what happens during Black Friday, for those of you who haven't seen this before. So they open the door, and there's like this fight, people getting stompled, run over. And they're trying to get a deal. And if you look back here, you got to look at this lady, the Walmart worker. Watch her face over here, right there. She's like bracing for impact. She's horrified. So this is Black Friday. Americans are kind of competitive, right? Germans would never been known to be competitive at all. They would never do anything like this.
Well, the first thing I would do is I would make a list of the items I want to buy, and then write down the prices they have currently, because it may be that your deal offer is the same price, just telling you the original price would be higher.
Okay.
I've seen that often.
Awesome.
Okay, so we do have some totally unrelated questions for you, Mr. Christian. Is there an MBS module to create default fields and/or layouts?
Didn't we do this yesterday?
But we can create fields. Yeah. So we have a function.
Who asked this question?
Well,
Who asked this question, Margaret?
FM SQL and execute. No, not this one. The other one. So we can actually tell FileMaker to alter a table and add fields. You can do this with the SQL interface.
Okay.
The next question is why would you want to add a field? Because it wouldn't show up in your layout because nobody has placed it on the layout.
All right. But you have an answer for you have an answer for this, yes?
Yeah, we have no thing to change your layout from the plugin, but I think Claris has some kind of updater tool you could use if they have it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we're talking about the default. Are we talking about the default question?
Yeah, and the default fields is an XML file you can change here. Didn't Russell tell you about it, or someone else?
Yeah.
And there was this other thing on a server. There is, besides the data API, there's another interface they added, and this interface can also change the fields. You can probably find it. So.
Well, you're talking to clearly the bleeding edge of technology here. So some of the people ask the questions. I mean, maybe.
OData here.
OData guide.
That requires Linux, and if you enable that, you can do some database structure things. Modify schema there, which is add fields, delete a table, create fields. So that's a very new thing. So either this way or with the SQL commands.
All right. So one of the things that I can recommend everyone who is listening is that when you ask a question, you need to ask. A lot of times I'll ask this, like, I would really like this to happen, but what is my level of how much effort am I willing to expend? Right. This one here, to add the field to the layout and all that kind of stuff, is not going to be a simple exercise. And if it doesn't work, you'll get support from MonkeyBread, from Christian Schmitz, but you're not going to get any support from Claris, I guarantee. So, So just understand that if whenever you ask a question, understand that the answer is almost always yes. The question is, how much do you want to bleed to get to the end? So. Because Christian Schmitz can tell you yes, but then you're going to lose a pint of blood in the process. That could be quite a bit. Other questions?
Well,
what other new features do you have besides the endpoint listener, right?
A couple of things, but a lot of very specific things for specific people. So I think I first show you the XML import because it shows you the field. You see we have one table.
Yep.
And now I run the script. It takes a while, but it will create a lot of tables.
Whoa.
1, 2, 3, 4. And when I make a live demo, it will probably blow up. But
that's a bad sign when it's stuck on 0. Means it's going to be big.
Yeah, it got 1,000, 2,000 done. Progress bars are very hard.
Whoa.
This is a table for every node in this XML file, which is a saved FileMaker database as XML. So this is things we create automatically for you in the plugin when you tell us to pass an XML and import all the content. So we got here for everything in the FileMaker. So for every field, for every image, every CSS. So script steps, let me see where the script steps, I can sort this. So there's a step and there's a script. So there are 190 records. And now I can go and can define a new layout to actually show me the data I got imported. That was steps.
Step up,
There.
right there. Yep.
Okay, make a table. So okay. Yeah, all. Okay. So,
Wow.
this is the imported data. So you let the plugin import the XML once, so you get an initial schema. Then you can make layouts for the data you need, or maybe copy data to other layouts, whatever, other tables. And next time you do the import, you will get additional data. And if there are new fields, they will be added. So
Nice.
this is something you can do based on this field creation thing. You have the fields done automatically.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. My brain kind of checked out once I got into the creating the node, the listening node. Other questions folks have? Folks have for the Texas Fly. Mark, you want to finish to make sure Texas Fly has the questions? Color tags, review later.
He did have kind of a follow-up one. Yeah, because we got the misunderstood. If I flag a script with fix me, for example, can there be a table later that finds all fix me's in the scripts?
You're asking if a script can interact with the scripts. You'd have to export the scripts out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you'd have to act on it by record data. So
we have our search, and if you would have here something like, so file is there. So you can search for things. Let's search for something which is often. So I can go through, and usually the fix me thing is to highlight the row, and so you can easily find it. But if you would want to find it in all the scripts, you would have to either print all the scripts or make a DDR and then have some tool look for them.
Ellen had a question. When are we going? Okay, and I'm not sure. I think these already exist, but when are we going to get a searchable FileMaker database with all the features and examples of MonkeyBread, so we don't have to look through your website? Question mark.
Oh, that's a great idea, Mr. Lobster. Do you volunteer to design one?
Yeah, there we go.
We can provide the data.
You can provide the data and build the database, yeah.
Actually, a few people have already tried to get our documentation into a database.
What happened? They died?
No, it's actually, let's see, I think I have one of them. So here, in the examples, next question is, does it still work? I think this one, for example. So, yeah. So there are a lot of functions. So basically anyone could do that because we have some special things on the website. I think there's an all.txt. Yeah, that's something we made for people so they can just go through all the functions and import stuff. And like this is a little database one of my users made.
Okay.
Jens Liebelt. And so he got all the things in a database, and then he should be able to maybe search something. Good question. There's a search button. No, a search term. Okay, let's look for, let's say, webhook.
Okay.
Oh
no.
Oh, maybe it's older. And let's search for drag and drop.
Oh yeah,
So
that looks nice.
It got search results, yeah.
Well, he's got to maintain the database. That's the problem. We got to maintain it.
Yeah, well, the idea here is this database just reads our documentation from the website.
Have you updated that all.txt? You guys saw that link he had. That was very clever. You go to the page and you hit all.txt. That was super.
Yeah, there are a couple of those links. I think they are on the stats page. So statistics. No, not here. Somewhere I have those. If you need that, you can ask me.
Well,
and there's also a search page, but that's for German. That's a guy made fmsearch.com, where you can search, let's say, MBS drag drop. And it also finds stuff on our website.
Okay.
So you have dedicated thing, but it's more for people with German language, because it also searches the FileMaker magazine, the German one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's a magazine in the United States anymore, right? I don't think that exists.
Yeah, in Germany we still have a printed magazine.
Really?
But yeah, usually people read the PDF.
Okay.
Download the PDF, put it on your iPad, but you can also get it printed.
Yeah, I actually enjoy looking at paper once in a while. So it's a nice thing. Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's a lot of features in here, so you have to be able to hunt through it and search for it. So there's a couple ideas for you. Lobster, the same problem I have is that it's in there. You have to hunt for it and find it.
Well, we have here, I think, 600 example databases.
Yeah, that's quite a few.
So if you have 10 days of vacation, 60 a day, you can pick them out.
That's that dry sense of humor again. That's funny. Very clever. All right. Well, if anyone you have 10 days of vacation, you could just give it up and learn MonkeyBread. That would be funny as hell. You could do like a 10-day cruise on a cruise ship where you enjoy yourself, except you're going to be locked at your computer at the command line for 10 days straight. Carnival Cruise or Norwegian Cruise Lines. You should get out and see everything. No, we're staring at a computer screen because Christian's cracking the whip in the class. That would be funny. That would be funny. All right, Larry, Canberra, Ruben, any final questions as we land the airplane?
Yeah, there's also Matt Petrovsky's FileMaker magazine, which is more video page.
Yeah. It used to be actually FileMaker magazine, and now it's more of his training videos. Kind of a high-end, very, very, very high-end training video. It's for normal intermediate developers, it exceeds their skill set by quite a bit. He's an interesting guy. Very, very, very in the deep end.
There's another. You like to talk about here PDF kit. I got another example here for printing documents. That's maybe a nice thing. So we have customers who have documents like a PDF document, a JPEG file, GIF file, TIFF, PNG, a Word document, an Excel or PowerPoint, and you like to have PDF versions of this. Let's just press the button and see if it works.
All right.
Yeah, well, failed. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, let's see. File path is usually wrong. So the idea here is we use LibreOffice to do the conversion.
I've heard about that. LibreOffice. If you folks have heard that, it's an open source, kind of loosely a Microsoft Office kind of knockoff.
Yeah. So, okay, it did launch. And so I wonder, maybe take another document here. So, no, it's failed. So I could debug this. But the most likely is a wrong file path.
That could be. Yeah, well, we're past our time a little bit. I know we had a late start. Do we have any other questions here? So I still have the listener thing first. I still have to land the listener thing first before I have other questions, right? So that's Ruben. So if you have questions about this stuff, Larry says, is there a way to make text in Script Workspace different sizes like in the data viewer?
You know, we have this pop-up here for the font size and Script Workspace.
Right.
And then there's extra field for the calculations. Make it even bigger.
Yes. Yeah. So the answer is yes, Larry. It's all in there. You need this. I need it. A lot of us who are not 20 anymore need it. Yeah. They're trying to wrap their head around the webhook thing. So yeah, what we need to do is build we need like a little IoT kind of example where it talks to FileMaker. I got in front of Hansa at 24U and I said, hey, he's always doing this IoT stuff. And I said, well, how about we have something really simple? This is like really amazing. I go, how about we actually have it so you type in a code on the door and it unlocks the door for you, right? You have all these door lock things at the store, but how about it talks to FileMaker and then comes back and sees that you're still authorized, right, to be in the building, right?
Yeah, we are missing a DEF CON. I would probably do something for our booth there. So if we could have some little Raspberry Pi thing which then talks to FileMaker.
All right, cool. Well,
if you get
Go ahead, Christian.
A little Raspberry Pi, you can put it a sensor there for temperature or this. What do you do with a laser beam where you see if someone walks through the laser and.
Okay. Yeah, you could trip an alarm, right?
Or just
we need your monkey to make screeching noises when someone goes through the alarm, right? The little stuffed monkey. Seriously, that would be very cool. Yeah, if you do DevCon and you have a booth, we'll have to, if we do a booth, we'd have to sit next to you and cause problems, right? So I don't know what Claris is going to do. They have to get to next year first. First they have to get through the end of the year and the next year. Yeah, so they've got a lot of uphill battles to fight. So anyway, but David Angel said, go ahead.
Mark the dates in the calendar. It's in Nashville, huh?
Yeah, I was talking to them and they said, yeah, it's going to happen theoretically, assuming that COVID Foxtrot or COVID Golf doesn't happen. So warning at San Diego Lab, do not look directly at the laser in the I-beam. Yeah, so David Angel says we should do 3 days on the endpoint listener, right? And I know that the problem is, Christian, we'd have to because people want to see it from beginning to end and with like a practical kind of thing on it, right? So like something, right? And if you did that, you could do.
Yeah,
people would buy it.
We would need to have a specific use case, maybe a little device or a web
Unlock
service.
The door. Unlock the door. The door, right? Okay, here, look. Here's my door. See my door over there? See the door handle, door lock. Unlock the door. Unlock the door. Sorry, I just thought I'd help with that.
Richard, I think you see the wrong thing. If you have a programmer door lock, you could send a request there to unlock it. But our thing with the webhook is to get notified if someone is unlocking the door. So you would have a sensor.
You could go either way. You could have the data come in. You run the script. Is Richard in the system? Yes, Richard's in the system. Then reply back to the door.
So everyone can go on our blog, download the current beta, pre-release 5, play with the example. Maybe if they want, get a trial key if they don't have a key yet, and then come back end of the month for the sale to.
Come back for the sale. There you go, monkeybreadsoftware.com. All right, everyone, appreciate it. See ya, everyone. Good job.
guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.